Yeah, you're not fooling me. I know there's only one reason why you clicked on this video.
Knowledge.
Woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. First debuting in All-Star Comics issue 58 in February of 1976, Power Girl was created by Jerry Conway, Rick Estrada, and Wally Wood. Real name Kara Zor-El on Krypton or Karen Starr on Earth. She initially caused controversy, and not for the reason that you'd think, because 4 years prior to this, Marvel had created Power Man. Stan Lee commented in 1978 saying that their legal team was on the case, but as Power Girl is still around, it doesn't seem like anything's come from this. Due to her popularity in All-Star Comics, she was made a main member alongside the rest of the Justice Society of America, and here she gained enough momentum to get her own solo story in issues 97 to 99 of Showcase. And if you're familiar with Supergirl, then you'll know the origin story of Power Girl because she is the Earth 2 version of Kara Zor-El, but prior to Crisis on Infinite Earths. Biologically, she is the cousin of Superman, and when Krypton faced destruction, Zor-El put her in her own ship, designated towards Earth. However, the ship didn't travel as fast as Kal-El's. I'm not sure if it had some kind of different petrol in it, but that's why it landed sometime after. The ship kept her in stasis and had a virtual reality program installed on it so that she could have access to social connections. And this meant that she emerged on Earth in her early 20s and didn't need to cause Jonathan or Martha Kent any stress. During this pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths timeline, she was taken in by the Earth 2 versions of Clark and Lois. But due to there still being some gaps in her knowledge between what she'd learned on the ship and the real world, they tended to raise her more like a daughter. And it's also the reason why she didn't debut as a hero until later. She did a few missions here and there with Flash and Wildcat, who were already established members of the JSA, and once Superman retired from the team, Power Girl took his place as a permanent member of the roster. This is also the point where she realised that she needed to create a secret identity, which is where she came up with the name Karen Starr, a first name that the internet is now just completely ruined for anyone who's got it. And the haircut that she's got doesn't help with that image either, but you know, maybe if there's another Crisis they can retcon out this name as well. She decided to become a computer programmer, having studied the field under the guidance of Wonder Woman, and this will become important later on in her journey. Then Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, and for all the good they brought to the DC universe, it made a bit of a boob out of some of the other characters. As there was now only one Earth and only 4 characters in the DC universe who knew about the existence of an Earth 2, Karen's origins unfortunately did a 180. She was now the granddaughter of an Atlantean sorcerer called Arion, and had been confined to suspended animation for thousands of years before, which is why she never appeared in anything that had happened. So it's kind of similar to what happened to Captain America, but, you know, for longer. This time round, instead of joining the Justice Society, she joined the Justice League Europe, who I sent in an application for before all this Brexit stuff happened, and I just haven't heard anything back, so it's not looking good. But she was injured early on by Greyman, which caused her to lose the majority of her powers. She still remained a member of the team, but in a reduced capacity, and during this time, especially during Zero Hour, she gave birth to a boy called Equinox. I'm not sure if that's got any connection to that overpriced gym in America. She also worked alongside Oracle, but this was short-lived due to the fact that the mission failed and it caused quite a bit of death. And since then, these two have never really seen eye to eye, but she did later rejoin the JSA after the Black Canary resigned. Then Infinite Crisis happened, which was a continuation of Crisis on Infinite Earths, even though it pretty much just reversed all the events that happened in it. And during this event, she was near driven insane by the Psycho Pirate, who was showing her different possible realities, but during this, he did make her realise that she is a Kryptonian from Earth 2. Then when she later crossed paths with the Earth 2 versions of Lois and Clark, all of her previous memories were restored. And this is where the character really began to stand on her own 2 feet, because she caught the attention of Jeff Johns. She was the focal point of a JSA miniseries, which then led to her getting her own ongoing title. With the help of big name creators like Jeff Johns, Amanda Connor, Justin Gray, and Jimmy Palmiotti, they gave her own storyline where she was focused more on the research and development of her own business, Starware Labs. She became a mentor to younger heroes, helped to reform the JSA, and even became the leader for a bit of time. But since then, and after the New 52 began, which, yeah, is my jam, Power Girl has become more of a supporting character or always has to share a title, featuring in series such as Mr. Terrific, where she became the head of Star Labs, World's Finest, where she worked alongside a close friend and business partner Huntress, and she became a recurring figure in the Harley Quinn title, with the duo even getting their own mini-series. Yet unfortunately, kinda like when I did a Who Is on Martian Manhunter, Power Girl hasn't been as present in the DC universe since Rebirth, as she spent the majority of her time trapped between Earths in an interdimensional void. She was released from this during the Doomsday Clock event, which did bring Power Girl back into the DC universe, but unless you get excited by her talking to other heroes in the background, there hasn't been too much to report on in the last few years when it comes to Power Girl. Now before we look at some of Karen's powers or weaknesses and some of the teams that she's been affiliated with in the 45 years since she debuted, I just want to promote the channel sponsor Organic Price Books. So why not treat yourself to a book? I know they've got some of these JSA omnibuses that do feature Power Girl, and they've also got a wide range of all comics from different publishers. They've got great packaging, fast shipping and amazing customer service, and if you use code WOOFWOOF you will get $2 off your order. And a little secret between me and you can use that as many times as you like. In terms of powers, because she's a Kryptonian, she has the same power set that is derived from Earth's yellow sun. This means that a power set similar to Superman or any other character that's got Kryptonian physiology. So there's heat vision, super hearing, flight, invincibility, super strength, stamina, speed and super breath, and massive enhancements to her two most valuable assets, her eyes. And alongside those natural attributes, she received boxing training from Wildcat while she was a member of the JSA. Additionally, she learned karate under the guidance of Mongo Krebs. Wait, that name doesn't sound advertiser friendly. As well, she has enhanced memorization, which means that she can have genius level intellect towards whatever field she chooses to study. And her chosen expertise was business management and computer operations, which like we said before was due to the help of Wonder Woman's Purple Ray. She also really likes cats and they like her too, and no, that's not really a power or an ability, but didn't really know where else I could mention it. For weaknesses, there's the obvious one for all Kryptonians, which is kryptonite, and all the different versions of it which have varying effects. Additionally, she has the same weakness to magic, so if WB ever decided to do a franchise crossover, Harry Potter would actually stand a chance against her. She's also vulnerable to psionic attacks, but only if her opponent has superior mental powers to her. Her X-ray vision's unable to look through lead, but legit, I'd rather have X-ray vision that just can't look through one thing than just not have X-ray vision at all. At one point in her history, she was vulnerable to natural unprocessed materials, and you probably think that we're talking about something serious like oil, but we are literally talking about sticks and stones, but apparently words will never hurt her. We're moving to allies now, and we're going to start by looking at her two biggest companions. We've got Jennifer Morgan and Helena Wayne. The first of which is the daughter of a US Air Force colonel who Power Girl met after Crisis on Infinite Earths when she was travelling to Scartaris? I don't know, but she went to that planet in search of her origins. Although the character hasn't been present a lot, Kara would develop a friendship to the point where she considers Jennifer to be like a sister. Helena Wayne, also known as Huntress, is the Earth 2 daughter of Batman and Catwoman, and probably the character that Power Girls teamed up with the most. The duo met and became best friends before Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then when that event happened, it caused some disruption for the team, but the duo did get their own series with World's Finest during the New 52. Moving on to Atlee, who's the third person to take on the name of Terra, and she's also from the underground planet of Strata. They met whilst Power Girl was part of the reformed JSA, and Kara took her back to their headquarters and helped Atlee to assimilate to a new world. She became a mentor for this character, and the two have worked together quite a bit off-world, and Terra has become somewhat of a sidekick for Power Girl. The last of her allies that I'm going to mention here is Harley Quinn, probably the one that doesn't need any introduction. But while suffering from temporary amnesia, which is the most convenient plot device in fiction, Power Girl crash lands in front of Harley Quinn, and the two work together fighting crime. They've had their own mini-series together, and Harley even tried it on with Kara, which, you know, I always say you miss 100% of the chances that you don't take. But the two have crossed paths a few times since then, and they do work together quite well. We've touched on a few of them throughout this video, but just to go over some of the teams that she's been affiliated with in the near 50 years that she's been in comics. You've got the Justice Society of America, both before Crisis on Infinite Earths and during the Jeff Johns run, Justice League Europe, Infinity Inc., Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, Sovereign 7, and also the Justice League. And just an interesting fact, but at one point she was also under the alias of Nightwing because of the fact that she went into the bottle city of Kandor. And if you're looking for any Power Girl books to read, I can definitely recommend this run right here. It collects all the Jeff Johns, Amanda Conner, Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti run. There was also a continuation of this run that was written by Judd Winnick, but admittedly all of these trade paperbacks are very difficult to get. You've also got the New 52 World's Finest run, and even though I'm a New 52 apologist, I can't really remember too much about this series. I'd also recommend the Jeff Johns JSA run because she appears quite a bit in that. She also becomes leader of the team for a bit of time, and there's also a really great moment with her during the bit where there's a crossover with the Kingdom Come universe. The Harley Quinn and Power Girl mini-series is really fun, and she also appears quite a bit in a lot of Supergirl titles. So those are some of the ones that I'd recommend, but I'm hoping that in the next couple of years, Power Girl gets a bit of a resurgence. It seems like unfortunately she has been a bit forgotten about, but there's a lot of potential with this character. And hopefully this video has helped people to understand her a little bit more, or maybe just introduce you to the character. But if you like this Who Is series, please just let me know in the comments section section below, along with which character you'd like to see get a video. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, why did you get this far? Definitely make sure to subscribe if you're new here, and check out our sponsor, Organic Price Books. As well, if I could just ask you for a massive favour, please share this video wherever you can. I know that there must be a lot of people who would find Power Girl to be an interesting character, but the YouTube algorithm really doesn't like promoting these videos. But until next time, whenever that may be, just make sure that you stay safe, stay reading the best books that you can find, and stay mad all you dogs. Woof woof! See you at the next video.